As we grow older, one of the biggest fears many people have is losing their memory. We hear stories of people who once had sharp, intelligent minds but later could not even remember their children's names. Memory loss, confusion, and weak brain function are not just old age problems anymore. Doctors are now warning that some of the things we eat and drink every single day can make this problem worse. And one of the biggest silent killers of memory, especially after the age of 60, is a very common morning drink that millions of people take without even thinking twice. Imagine waking up in the morning, stretching your body, and reaching for the same drink you've had for years. It's part of your routine. Maybe it even gives you energy, helps you feel awake, or makes you believe your day is starting right. But what if I told you that this simple drink could be slowly damaging your brain cells, reducing your focus, and eating away at your memory? That is exactly what brain doctors are now warning people about. And if you are above 60, the danger is even higher. Why is this important? Because your brain is like the engine of your body. Every thought, every memory, every word you speak comes from how strong your brain is. Once memory starts to slip, life becomes more difficult. You forget appointments, you misplace important items, you struggle with conversations, and sometimes, you even feel lost in familiar places. It is not just about forgetfulness, it is about losing independence. That's why what we eat and drink daily is so important. And that is why this warning from brain doctors cannot be ignored. The truth is, many of us already know that sugar, processed foods, and lack of exercise can damage the brain. But what most people don't know is that the drink they depend on each morning might be one of the biggest triggers of memory decline. Doctors say this drink increases inflammation in the brain, damages blood vessels that supply oxygen to memory cells, and even raises the risk of diseases like Alzheimer's and dementia. The shocking part? This drink is not rare. In fact, you may have taken it today without realizing its long-term danger. So what is this drink? Before we reveal it, let's take a moment to understand how memory works. Memory depends on healthy brain cells called neurons. These neurons talk to each other through tiny connections called synapses. When these connections are strong, you can remember things easily, you can focus better, and your mind feels sharp. But when they are damaged, information moves slowly or gets lost completely. That is when you begin to notice memory lapses. Unfortunately, the morning drink we're talking about directly attacks these neurons and weakens their ability to communicate. Doctors explain that after age 60, the brain becomes more sensitive to what we consume. Younger people may get away with certain habits for years, but seniors cannot. Their body processes things slower, their liver struggles more, and their brain is less protected. That is why this morning drink becomes so dangerous for older adults. It doesn't just affect your energy, it chips away at your memory little by little, until you begin to notice the difference. Now here's the real danger. Most people think that memory problems happen suddenly. But in reality they creep in slowly. You may first notice that you forget small details like where you placed your glasses or the name of someone you met recently. Then it grows into forgetting appointments, dates, or even how to complete tasks you've done for years. Doctors say one of the main reasons for this slow decline is years of consuming harmful foods and drinks. And yes, this specific morning drink is one of the biggest silent destroyers. In this video we are going to uncover the truth about this drink, explain how exactly it harms your memory, and most importantly, show you healthier alternatives that can protect your brain. If you are over 60, or if you have parents, grandparents, or loved ones in that age group, this is information you cannot afford to ignore. So, what is this drink that brain doctors are warning about? The answer might surprise you. It is sugary coffee and tea loaded with sweeteners, creamers, or processed flavors. Yes, the coffee or tea itself is not the biggest danger, but the way most people prepare it turns it into a silent memory killer. Let's break this down. Coffee and tea on their own can have some benefits, such as antioxidants that protect cells. But when you add too much sugar, artificial sweeteners, or processed creamers, you are turning your morning drink into a chemical cocktail that attacks your brain. Sugar may give you a quick boost of energy, but over time, it causes inflammation in the brain. Inflammation is like a slow fire that burns your memory cells and weakens their ability to connect. That is why people who take sweetened drinks every day are more likely to face memory problems later in life. Another big issue is caffeine overload. While small amounts of caffeine may make you alert, too much can damage your sleep cycle. Good sleep is one of the most important factors for strong memory. When you sleep deeply, your brain cleans itself, removes toxins, and strengthens memories from the day. But if you drink strong coffee or tea every morning and keep adding more during the day, you confuse your sleep cycle. Without proper rest, your memory cells cannot repair themselves. Over time, this leads to forgetfulness and poor focus. Doctors have also pointed out the danger of artificial creamers. Many creamers are made with trans fats, hydrogenated oils, and chemicals that are very hard for the body to process. These unhealthy fats block blood vessels and reduce oxygen flow to the brain. Imagine your brain cells trying to work but not receiving enough oxygen. The result is slower thinking, poor recall, and higher risk of dementia. For people over 60 whose blood circulation is already weaker, this effect becomes even more dangerous. And then we cannot forget artificial sweeteners. Many seniors switch from sugar to diet sweeteners because they want to avoid diabetes or weight gain. But studies now show that artificial sweeteners like aspartame, saccharin, or sucralose may do even more harm to the brain. These chemicals can confuse the brain's communication system, damage neurons, and reduce memory sharpness. That's why many doctors now say replacing sugar with artificial sweeteners is not always the safer choice. To make matters worse, this morning drink becomes a daily habit. It is not something you take once in a while, it is every day, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. And with each cup, the damage continues slowly. You may not feel it at 40 or even 50, but after 60, when the brain is more fragile, the impact shows up strongly. This is why doctors call it a silent killer of memory. Now let's look at some clear warning signs. If you are above 60 and you notice that you cannot concentrate for long, you feel mentally tired even after resting, or you struggle to remember details you used to recall easily, your brain may already be under stress from your daily drink habits. Many people blame aging, but in truth, their lifestyle choices are speeding up the decline. The good news is this: it is never too late to change. Your brain has the ability to heal itself when given the right support. This means that if you reduce or replace this harmful morning drink, you can protect your memory, improve focus, and even lower your risk of dementia. Doctors have seen seniors regain mental sharpness simply by removing too much sugar, creamers, and processed additives from their morning drinks. In the next part, we will talk about how exactly this morning drink attacks your memory, what happens inside the brain, and the small daily changes you can make to protect your brain power even after 60. Now that we know what the morning drink is and why it is dangerous, let's go deeper into what actually happens inside your brain each time you take it. Understanding this will help you see why doctors are so worried, especially for people above 60. When you drink coffee or tea with high sugar, artificial sweeteners, or creamers, the first thing that happens is a spike in blood sugar. This quick rise gives you energy for a short time, but the body quickly reacts by releasing insulin to bring sugar levels down. That sudden drop leaves you tired, unfocused, and sometimes even irritable. Repeating this cycle every morning puts the brain under stress. Over years, the brain cells become resistant to insulin, which scientists now connect to memory loss and even Alzheimer's disease. In fact, some doctors call Alzheimer's type 3 diabetes because of how strongly it is linked to sugar. Another effect is inflammation. Imagine your brain like a busy city with roads connecting different areas. Inflammation is like traffic jams that block the flow of information. Messages move slower, and sometimes they don't even reach the right place. This is why you may struggle to recall names, forget where you kept things, or feel mentally foggy. If this continues for years, the damage becomes permanent. Caffeine also plays a tricky role. A small amount can improve alertness, but too much over time makes your nervous system overactive. It raises stress hormones like cortisol, which shrink the hippocampus, the part of the brain that stores memories. That is why many people who drink too much coffee or strong tea feel anxious, restless, and forgetful. And if you are over 60, your brain is less able to handle this constant stress, so the damage shows faster. Artificial creamers and fats make things worse by clogging blood vessels. The brain needs a constant flow of oxygen and nutrients. When vessels are blocked, brain cells starve and begin to die. This is why unhealthy fats are linked not just to heart problems but also to strokes and memory decline. A poor blood flow means your brain is literally running on low fuel. Artificial sweeteners, on the other hand, confuse the brain's reward system. They trick your taste buds into believing you are taking sugar, but the body doesn't receive real energy. This confusion affects how the brain communicates, weakening focus and recall. Studies have even shown that long-term use of some sweeteners may increase the risk of dementia. But here's the good news. Once you understand the damage, you can also take steps to repair it. The brain is powerful and can heal if you make better choices. Doctors recommend that seniors switch from harmful morning drinks to healthier options that protect brain health. For example, instead of sweetened coffee, you can drink green tea or black coffee without sugar. Green tea has natural antioxidants that fight inflammation, improve focus, and protect neurons. Black coffee in small amounts can give alertness without the sugar damage. You can also try herbal teas such as ginger tea, chamomile tea, or turmeric tea. These drinks not only relax the body but also reduce inflammation in the brain. Another great option is warm lemon water in the morning. It wakes up your digestive system, keeps you hydrated, and supports blood flow to the brain without any harmful chemicals. Hydration is also key. Most seniors wake up dehydrated after hours of sleep. Starting the day with water instead of sugary coffee or tea helps the brain function better immediately. In fact, dehydration is one of the hidden causes of brain fog and confusion in older adults. So the choice is clear. You can keep drinking the same harmful morning beverage and allow it to steal your memory slowly, or you can make simple switches that protect your brain for years to come. We have talked about how sugary coffee, tea with artificial sweeteners, and chemical creamers slowly damage the brain. Now let us bring everything together and see what doctors actually recommend for protecting your memory after 60. First, the most important step is awareness. Many people never question their morning habits. They think, this is what I've always done, so it must be fine. But the truth is, habits that seem small today can decide whether your brain stays sharp or weak tomorrow. The brain doctor's warning is simple: stop poisoning your brain every morning without realizing it. By reducing or removing this harmful drink, you immediately reduce inflammation, balance your blood sugar, and give your neurons a chance to recover. Second, you must replace bad habits with good ones. It is not enough to simply stop sugary coffee or tea. You need healthier replacements to fuel your brain. We already mentioned green tea, black coffee without sugar, herbal teas, and lemon water. But beyond drinks, your breakfast also matters. Eating foods rich in omega-3 fats, like walnuts or chia seeds, can strengthen memory. Fruits like blueberries, oranges, and apples are packed with antioxidants that repair brain cells. Even a boiled egg in the morning gives your brain choline, an important nutrient for memory. Third, stay hydrated all day. After 60, the body loses its ability to detect thirst quickly. That means many seniors are dehydrated without knowing it. This lack of water makes the brain shrink temporarily, which weakens focus and memory. Doctors recommend at least 6 to 8 glasses of water daily. Starting your day with water instead of a sugary drink is the best gift you can give your brain. Fourth, remember that movement protects memory. A short morning walk or light exercise increases blood flow to the brain. More oxygen means more energy for your neurons. Combine this with better drink choices, and you will notice a big difference in how sharp your mind feels. Fifth, don't forget sleep. Avoid drinking strong caffeine late in the day. Good quality sleep is when your brain organizes and stores memories. Seniors who drink too much coffee often complain of restless nights, and that directly weakens memory. If you replace late coffee with calming herbal tea, you will sleep deeper and wake up clearer. Finally, let us come back to the core warning. If you are above 60, your brain is more fragile. Every choice you make matters more than ever before. Sugary drinks, artificial sweeteners, and chemical creamers may look harmless, but over time they act like slow poison to your memory. The good news is that your brain is not doomed. By changing your morning routine today, you can protect your independence, stay sharp for longer, and enjoy your golden years with clear thinking. So, the next time you reach for that cup of sweetened coffee or tea, pause and remember this warning. Ask yourself, is this sip worth my memory? If the answer is no, then choose smarter. Your brain will thank you. The brain doctor's message is very clear. What you drink every morning can either protect your memory or slowly kill it. After 60, the wrong drink can increase inflammation, damage blood vessels, and weaken neurons. But by switching to healthier choices like green tea, lemon water, or plain black coffee in moderation, you give your brain the power to stay sharp, active, and strong.